So I don't pretend to be a political influencer or analyst or any of that. If you're like me, when it comes to that stuff, some of that stuff, you have to look up lots of stuff. You have to read and watch stuff to understand kind of the nuances of what's going on. But if you're also like me and you grew up in the American white evangelical space as a Republican, then you recognize hypocrisy. And so if you have people who are in your life or adjacent to you that are saying things like this Virginia vote to gerrymander their congressional map is dismantling democracy, it's an attack on democracy, and you're like, it just doesn't feel right because it feels off. And I'm not sure why. It feels off because they're being dishonest. They'll point to states like California and Virginia, and they're angry about those states gerrymandering because they know that they hold a significant number of seats when it comes to congressional um, representatives in the House. And so that makes them angry that states with that much sway and that many seats are choosing to do this, but also why they won't say anything about Texas and Ohio and a few other states that are red states that have done it. The difference is the reason it feels off to you is the difference is that states like California and Virginia put a measure on a ballot and let their people that live in those states vote as to whether or not they would do that. And then they created a time limit for that, 2030, I think, both of those states. And so the people chose to do that. But in states like Texas, they didn't. The state legislator, who's supposed to represent the people voting in that state, just chose to introduce a bill to the floor and then did it. That's it. The people that live in those states didn't get a say. And that's the difference is states like Texas are gerrymandering their congressional maps to disenfranchise specific populations of people so that they can get usually black and brown people. It's always black and brown people, but they're cutting up those populations on the map so that those populations, portions of them, fall into more conservative leaning areas of voting and carry more weight. Those conservative votes carry more weight than the black and brown people's votes, and they're just choosing to do it. And so that's why it feels off and hypocritical to you, is because states like Texas are being dishonest and cheating, and other states are bringing it to their people, and the people are like, yeah, we're not going to stand for this.